So let us learn this example. Right. So what is that example? Write an algorithm and you need to draw a flowchart to find the addition of two numbers. So this is common thing, right? Just I'll show you. Hmm. Now, algorithm, as I said, this is a step-by-step procedure of solving a problem, right? So this what I'm going to do is first I'm going to start with my first step. Then I'm going to declare three variables because in order to find the addition of two numbers, I need to have three variables where I'm going to store the values in A and B, and I'm going to calculate sum and I'm going to store in C. Right. So I'm reading the values, that is step 3 where A value is B value. Then I'm going to calculate A plus B. Then I'm going to print this C. And after completion of all the steps, I'm going to stop my algorithm. Clear. Now, if I represent this in terms of your flow chart, how I'm going to do it? So always you start with your start symbol, right? Then followed by, if you want to declare the variables, so here you're going to declare in terms of your parallelogram. Then you have, in order to read the values also, you're going to use parallelogram, and you're going to calculate c equals to a plus b, that is in your rectangle. Calculations and manipulations can be done in rectangle, and if any input and output operations are there, those can be done in terms of your parallelogram. So finally you're going to stop the flowchart once it is done. Okay, so this is all about the first example based on our flowchart. Okay, let us go with the second example now. So you can check here what is the program all about, right? So you can see here you are going to write an algorithm, okay, and flowchart to find the area of triangle. So you know area of triangle, the formula is half base into height. Is that point clear? So you're going to start, that is your first step. Then you're going to read base and height. Then you're going to find area with the formula half base into height. Then you're going to print that area, that is the resultant, and you're going to stop. This is for this is an algorithm. Then full flow chart, if you go with, you're going to start. Then in parallelogram, you're going to declare those variables base and height. I mean, you're going to give the values base equals this much, height equals this much, and area as it is calculation in rectangular box. You're going to find this area with the formula, and once you got the result, you're going to store in terms of your parallelogram again. So finally you're going to stop. So this is how you're going to work with your second example, right? So in the same way, if I go with one more example, so such type of many examples are there here. I would like to say all those examples, right? So just see here now. So you need to find out the sum and product of product and average of five numbers. Okay, so I'm going to take five numbers. I'm going to find the sum of all those five. I'm going to find the product, and I'm going to find the average of those five numbers. So first algorithm, step-by-step procedure of solving a problem, start. Then you have to declare, you're going to find the sum, you're going to find the product, you're going to find the average, and for how many variables you're going to find, it is for five variables. I mean five numbers where five variables have taken where each number is stored into a variable. And afterwards you're going to read those five variables. First of all, sum is nothing but sum of all numbers, product where multiplication, and average sum by number of numbers you have, right? So total number of numbers, five numbers are there. So you're going to sum them and divide by five. You're going to get the average, and finally you're going to print average, sum, and product. Finally, you're going to stop it. So if you take the same thing in terms of your flow chart, you're going to read in parallelogram with five variables. Then you're going to calculate in terms of your what is that rectangle. Okay, this is rectangle. Okay, in this rectangle, you're going to find some average, sorry, multiplication and average, and you're going to print them in terms of your parallelogram again, and finally you're going to stop. Right. So in this way, we have few more examples. I would like to cover them. Okay, just check them. Let me raise this. Now you can see the area and perimeter of a square. You're going to find the area and perimeter of a square here. So start, you're going to declare three variables, area, perimeter, and this is length. Length is nothing but your side, I can say. Okay. So what is area of square? It is given with s square. Okay. And perimeter will be given with 4 into s generally. But here instead of s, I've taken L. So I'm going to give L into L, that is L square. And this is 4 into L. Okay. So now you're going to print area and perimeter of that square. Start. You're going to read that L. You're going to calculate area and what you can say perimeter. Then you're going to print them and stop. Okay. So this is how generally. Now next, I'm going to just cover it up a bit speedy, okay? Because all things are same. Now this is you're going to interchange two values. I mean, what is the meaning of this is, suppose A value I have some 10 and B value I have some 20. Interchanging of values is nothing but A value will be stored as 20 and B value will be stored as 10. You're interchanging these values. Fine. So just see here, you're going to start, then declare, you're reading the values. First of all, let us suppose A equals 20 and B equals 10. Then you're going to say C equals to A. Now C value, A is nothing but 20 will be stored. And afterwards, A equals to B. A equals to B value is 10. That will be stored in A. Because A is initially 20, now it is replaced with 10. And whatever the C value stored, right, that will be copied into your B, where you can say B equals to C, where the C value is 20, that will be stored in terms of your B. Now A value is 10, B value is 20, which is interchanged. So this is called as swapping of two numbers without using third variable. Is it point clear? So same thing, start declaring, you're going to read those values, okay? I mean, you're going to take A value and B value, then you're going to find the logic in terms of your rectangle, then you're going to print the value of see, not only C here, actually you're going to print A and B. Sorry, here it is wrong because you have printed A and B. So you're going to print A, comma, you're going to print a B. That's what you're going to check. A and B values will be printed over here. Fine. So let us cover with few more examples. So many such flowcharts are there. Many such what you can say programs are there in this. So we'll cover one by one. So now we are going to learn this program, that is you need to find the sum of first five natural numbers. So you can see here how it internally goes on. Okay. So to start with, I'll just annotate the things so it will be clear for you. So this is your first step. Then you're going to declare two variables, count and sum. Initially count will be, I'm just taking it as C, okay, and sum will be 0. Now, what I'm doing is in the first step, I'm going to say count equals to count plus 1. And second step, what I'm going to do is sum equals to, right, sum plus count. So this is how I'm going to just go with the logic. 5 natural numbers is nothing but, you can see here, uh, initially count equals to count plus 1. So C equals to 0 plus 1 because C value is 0, count value. So now C value holds 1. Then sum equals to sum. Initially sum also holds 0. 0 plus 1, which is nothing but sum also holds 1. Okay, then afterwards count equals to count plus 1 again. Right, now C equals to C plus 1, which is nothing but C value already holds 1. 1 plus 1, which is nothing but 2. Right, now sum equals to again sum plus C. So sum equals to 1, already sum holds with 1. Right, sum equals to sum plus C, which is nothing but 1 plus count value is 2. So 1 plus 2 is nothing but sum value holds now 3. Is it point clear? So then afterwards, you can see count equals to again count plus 1, which is nothing but already count holds 2. So C equals to 2 plus 1, which is nothing but 3. Now sum equals to again sum plus count, which is nothing but sum equals to sum value initially is 3, 3 plus 3, which is nothing but 6. Right. So in this way, what you're going to do is first five natural numbers, 1 plus 2 plus 3 plus 4 plus 5. So if you calculate the sum of all this, 5 plus 4 is 9, 12, 14, 15. So finally you're going to get some value as 15. Now you check for this one also. C equals to C plus 1 again. Count value is 3, 3 plus 1, which is C is nothing but 4. Now count equals to S equals to S plus C. S value is 6. 6 plus, right, count value is 4. So which is nothing but S equals to 10. Now count equals to count plus 1 again, which is 4 plus 1. So count value equals to 5. So here S equals to 10 plus 5, which is nothing but 15. So when you come out of the loop, right? So if you say C equals to 5 plus 1, which will be 6. 6 is nothing but count value, which is greater than 5. Am I right? So until 5, you're going to check the condition and you're going to print. At the end, the value of sum is 15, which we got here. Is that point clear? In this way, it calculates internally. So just take here. Just see after that, you're going to just print this value, start, declare two variables in trapezium. You're going to initialize in this parallelogram. Sorry, it's not trapezium, it's parallelogram. And here again, in terms of your rectangle, count equals to count plus one, sum equals sum plus count, then followed by, you're going to check the condition. Just see here, this is called as conditional statement, right? So for some conditions, you're going to use this rhombus. Okay. So just you can see here, if count is greater than 5, finally here you can see if the count equals to 6 greater than 5, so you're going to print the value of sum directly, which is 15. If that count is not greater than 5, like if the count is equals to some 1, then 2, then 3, you're going to just repeat the loop for 5 natural numbers. Is that point clear? Right, so in this way you're going to print the values. Hope this is clear for you. The same way we are going to work with next example. Let me show you. Now this is how we are going to check whether a given number is positive or negative. Let us suppose if I give a number called 1, I can say it is a positive number. If I give the number as -1, it can be a negative number, right? So if the number is equals to 0, tell me whether it is positive or negative. So 0 can be neither positive nor negative. Okay. So my problem is all about, or my program is all about finding a number, given number is positive or negative. Right. So start, then you're going to declare that value and you're going to enter the value for that n. You're going to check the condition. If the number is greater than 0, see 1 is nothing but it is greater than 0. 2 is also greater than 0. 3 is also greater than 0. If that number is greater than 0, you're going to print it as positive. If the number is not greater than 0, that is -1 greater than 0. So which is wrong, right? So -1 is less than 0. So this is negative. If the number is greater than 0 only, it is going to print positive. So just see a start. You're going to declare the n. You're going to enter the value for n. And you're going to check for the condition. If number is greater than 0, if that condition is yes, then you're going to print it as positive. And if that number is no, that is that it's not greater than 0, that is no, that is it's a negative number, then you're going to print it as negative. Okay. And the same way you're going to print the biggest of two numbers, the same condition. I'm going to declare two variables, right? A value some 20, b value equals to some 10, right? If a greater than b, that is 20 greater than 10, it checks the condition. Yeah, 20 greater than 10 is true. So it comes to yes branch and it is going to print a is big. And if it is no, suppose a value is 20 and b value is 100. So 20 greater than 100, which is condition false. So it goes to no and it is going to print a b is big. And finally, it is going to stop your flowchart. Clear? So these are the basic things, right? Anyhow, so for every point we have an algorithm, right? Every program. So in this way, you can derive algorithm as well as flowchart for that. Fine. So let me go with the next problem. So in this way, a number of programs are there for us. Now I'll just brief the things. That's it. Okay. You'll understand. Now you can see here. Now calculate the profit or loss. Right. If I have what you can see any business, so I'm going to calculate the profit or loss. Right. So suppose what the logic is here. I'm just taking income, okay, variable, and I'm going to take the variable called cost, and I'm going to take profit, okay, and I'm going to take loss. These four variables I'm going to declare, right? So just here, read income, cost, profit, loss, right? So you're going to calculate profit or loss, okay? So just see here, what is the formula for profit? Whatever the income you are going to get, right? And whatever the cost you have spent, right? So income minus cost. Suppose income you have put it as income you got it as some 10,000 and cost you have put it only 5,000. So 10,000 minus 5,000 will be 5,000, which is your profit. Is it point clear? So loss is nothing but cost minus income, vice versa. Okay. So if cost is high and income is less, right, then you're going to get loss. If income is high and whatever the cost you have put is less, then you're going to get the profit. Okay, just check here. You're going to declare all those three variables. If income is greater than or equals to cost, if that is okay, then you're going to put profit equals to income minus cost. If that is no, loss equals to cost minus income. And here you're going to print the profit, and here you're going to print the loss. And finally, you're going to stop your flowchart. Fine. Now you're going to find the roots of quadratic equation in the same way. So before starting with the flowchart, what are the roots of equation? Quadratic equation, this is x1 equals to plus minus b plus or minus square root of d, right, by 2a, where d is nothing but b square minus 4ac. So generally you have that, okay? So x1 equals to minus b plus or minus sqrt of b square minus 4ac, okay, divided by 2a. Right, this b is d, instead of this complete equation, what they have done is we have put it as d, that's it. D is nothing but square root of b square minus 4ac. So this is your quadratic equation, ax square plus bx plus c, where a, b, c are constants, and you have roots for that, x1 and x2. x1 will be plus, x2 will be minus. Okay, so this is how you're going to calculate. See, start input, and this is compute. You're going to compute this formula, d equals to b square minus 4ac. If that is less than 0, then roots are imaginary. First, you're going to check whether roots are imaginary or not. So if that d value is less than 0, then roots will be imaginary. Else, you're going to compute the roots for this. Minus b with 1 and 1 with plus b. And you're going to print that x1 and x2. Is it point clear? So if here it is condition. If d is less than 0, then roots are imaginary. Else, the roots are real numbers. Okay. So for this, you have flowchart also that we'll see here. But before that, let me erase. So this is the flowchart for that. First, you're going to start, then you're going to read the values, then you're going to compute b square minus 4ac. If d value is less than 0, if yes, you're going to print roots are imaginary. You can't perform any roots for that. Then if d is not less than 0, then you're going to compute your x1 as well as x2 values, and you're going to print that x1 and x2. Okay. And next point is you're going to convert your temperature from Fahrenheit to Celsius. Okay. So you're going to start Fahrenheit initially, you're going to take 0, Celsius also 0. You're going to calculate Celsius. So this is the formula to calculate or convert your Fahrenheit to Celsius. F minus 32 into 5 by 9. This is a standard formula. Right. So start, you're going to initialize these two, and you're going to compute C value, and you're going to print that C. Where C value, if you take this Fahrenheit and if you substitute here, and you'll get the Celsius. Okay, so this is how you're going to work with this point and that this problem. Okay, now next we'll go with one more. Right here, you're going to check your given number is prime or not. Okay, so how are you going to check whether the given number is prime or not? First, you're going to start, then you're going to read n value, where n value is less than or equals to 1, then you're going to print directly that it is not prime. Okay, right, less than or equals to 1 is nothing but it can be 1 or 0. If this n value, if you give 0, which is less than or equals to 1, you're going to print 0 is not a prime number. And if you get 1 also, it is not prime. But if you take 2, 2 is an even prime, right? So less than 2, everything are not primes. Okay, so if this is the case, you're going to stop it. Okay, and you're going to end. Else, okay, if I equals to 2, next condition is I value is 2. Okay, you're going to come to this point now. If number mod I equals to 0, that is if number mod I equals to, sorry, here it is not there, equals to 0. In the sense, what is number here? Suppose you have given a number. Let us suppose 2 you have given. N equals to 2 you have given. 2 mod I value is 2. 2 mod 2. If I divide 2 divided by 2, which is nothing but 2 ones are 2, the answer will be remainder, which is 0. So 2 mod 2 equals to 0. So I can say, right, I can say I can go to step 5 and I can check here the condition. Okay, it's going to print the value as 2 is a prime. And if you go with, if that is not the case, then it is going to print not a prime. If you take one more example, give one more number 3. Okay, if 3 mod 2 is equals to 0, if 3 mod 2 equals 0, nothing but 3, right, which is divided by 2, 2 ones are 2, the remainder is 1, so which is not equals to 0, right? So it will go to else part and is going to print not a prime. Okay, so in this way, whatever the number you give, that will be printed here. Now this is start, you're going to read n value. If n value is less than or equals to 1, if it is true, you're going to print directly not prime as you have done here. Okay, you're going to work with I equals to 2. If this is n is not less than or equals to 1, then it is false. So I equals to 2. Comes to this point, it is going to check with the condition. If I less than or equals to n by 2, then comes here number mod I not equals to 0, right? If it is true, it is going to increment the value of I. If it is false, it is going to print it is not a prime. Is that point clear? So this is how we are going to work with the condition. Okay, right. So now we are going to have the differences. What is an algorithm and what is a flowchart? Algorithm is nothing but step-by-step procedure of solving a problem, where flowchart is nothing but a diagrammatic representation, okay, of a given uh, algorithm, okay, which is going to show the flow of data. An algorithm is complex to understand, but flowchart is easy to understand because it is in terms of diagrams. In algorithm, plain text is used, whereas in flowchart, you're going to use symbols and shapes, right? It is easy to debug, okay, and this is hard to debug, and it is difficult to construct. It is simple to construct. It does not follow any rules. It follows rules. It is a pseudocode for the program. It is a graphical representation of that particular logic. Pseudocode is nothing but, right? Generally, you're using the code, right, to write the program. That is source code or some code which is written, which is in terms of your machine language, whatever it is. That is pseudocode. Fine. Maybe it is called as an algorithm as well. Now, so now, before going to work with the C language program, what actually you're going to do here? So this is very important. Based on this only, you're going to do C program, right? How and where to write your C language program. So you have some editors, the blue color screen, right? Where you're going to develop a program. So where you're going to write a C language, where you're going to compile, and where you're going, how you're going to execute that. So first, you're going to work with start. In that search, okay, in that search, you're going to press enter, then you're going to find cmd command. In that command, right, if you go to command, you're going to enter into cd space program files. So like this it will be, okay, c colon cd program, you're going to write program files. Okay, now this will be like this cd, and this is your program files like this, c program files. Okay, then afterwards you need to say cd dot dot, so you'll come out of this. So it will be c, like this it will be. Okay, now this will be removed because your turbo c2 will be present, not in program files. Okay, then you're going to type td cd turbo c2 and you need to press enter. Then c cd space tc, if you press enter, automatically a dos prompt will be, sorry, a editor will be opened where you're going to develop your C program. Okay, so text editor this is, then turbo C, you are going to write a program, or or you can do in terms of your code blocks also. Two ways. One you can directly do with turbo C2, and one you can do with code blocks. So this is how we are going to work with. Let us suppose this is some small program, hash include stu.h main hello. You're printing that and get ch. First of all, whenever you write a program, that will be stored with .c extension. Then you're going to compile the program. Okay. So then compile a translated program from high level language to machine level language, that is zeros to ones. Then object file is created for that. So initially it is C file. Now obj file will be created for that. Okay. Now compiler, if you say Alt plus C, compiles the program. This is your zeros and ones. This is object code, and linker will link the program, right? And this is exe file. When you say Control F9, you are going to get the output. This is called execution of your program. You're going to say Alt plus F5, which is going to give you the output. Okay, this is how you're going to compile your C program. Okay, and run your C program. So main thing is, only thing no need to confuse. If you say Alt plus C, the program gets compiled. Right? And if you say Alt plus R, the program gets run. Right? And if you want to see the output, you're going to say Alt plus F5. Right? So you're going to see your output on the screen. And if you don't want to press this directly, if you compile and if you run the program, you want to see the output, then you're going to put get ch, which reads one, which will get one character, maybe Alt F5, and it is going to show you the output. Okay, all these three ways are there. Just keep that in your mind. Okay, so these are very basic things. Okay, next, when we enter into our actual programs, then we're going to start with all these things. Fine. So from next class, we are going to enter into the concepts of C language. Okay, fine. Thanks all.